Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sugarcoat the podcast. Yes, I am Hayaat, and I am joined by Femi, a Sugarcoat fave, maybe a regular,
maybe.
And would you like to introduce yourself?
Abibat, yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
Okay, so as I said, you guys have met Femi before, so if you guys want to see our fun facts, go back and check it. We are on a rush, yeah? So we're going to skip to 2 truths, no lies for Abibat.
Okay, no lies at all.
Yeah, no lies, just 2 truths about yourself.
I love Nigerian food. My favourite food is ayamashi and white rice. If you want a way into my heart, get that. And another truth is, I love love.
Oh,
Sorry guys.
what a sloppy start to the morning.
Love, like how fucking cute. Do you want to expand on that? Do you want to give us a quick reason why?
I'm just joking.
She said, hold it.
I just love love. I think love is so beautiful, and I like that.
Oh my god. Like, you're too
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we had quite an interesting right or wrong this week. I don't know if you guys remember what right or wrong is, but it's basically discussing if something's right or if it's wrong. Just a little peck and right, whatever, cool joke. So for this week, we're going to talk about Ice Spice and Flo Milli, because basically, I haven't actually introduced the episode this week, but the episode this week is around beauty politics, and a big part of beauty politics, at least in our lives, colorism does play a part. And 100%. I've seen a lot of discourse about Flo Milli and Ice Spice, and people comparing the two in their careers, and I guess the attention and success that we've seen through Ice Spice from one song versus Flo Milli, who's been in the game for a while. She's been dropping bangers, she's been dropping heat, being very consistent, and maybe is just, well, I guess it's subjective, but has just produced a higher quality of music and hasn't seen the same success. So yeah, what do you guys think when people say that? Do you think they're like justified in that opinion, or what?
I think, like you said, it is subjective, but I don't think the colorism thing can be ignored, because I feel like different artists will trend. Like, some people just get lucky, have their moment, whether it's because of TikTok or whatever. But I do think Flo Milli, for her talent, should be bigger. But then I guess rap is so, sometimes it is just what the trending sound is and what runs and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like maybe there is more complexity to like Flo Milli's flow and her writing and whatever compared to Ice Spice. So that's why I think like maybe she should get more clout, or like get more recognition for that. Whereas I think Ice Spice is also benefiting off TikTok and her sounds being very like trendable.
Yeah.
But I think colorism is always a thing. Like even if they're both equally talented, like they're just more likely to appeal to the masses if they're lighter skin.
And I also think colorism is quite like subconscious as well, in terms of like how it's showcased in real life as well, because you might not even realize you're picking or choosing one person without even thinking, because you need to sell. As an artist, you need to be able to sell yourself. You need to have a selling factor. And I guess is it Drake who
who co-signed
if she has the quote-unquote look and she has the trend as well, it all kind of like works together to kind of produce, I guess, what would make money for him as well. Because at the end of the day, it's about selling records, it's about making money, and if you're sellable, then it works. And I don't think it means that they're not as talented as each other, because Flo Milli can just be as good as Ice Spice is. I think I just know that you thought I was feeling you. As much as I know about Ice Spice,
I feel like people are playing with Flo Milli though. Like Flo Milli is just happening. I'm not gonna lie. Like when she said, I like cash from my,
you literally dicks up when I step in the party. Like
people are playing with her.
Exactly. She has trendable sounds as well. It's just
and I kind of related to like within the UK as well with
I'm gonna move this a bit closer to you.
How can I forget? How can I forget?
And yours as well.
The dark skin Ghanaian sing. How can I forget her name?
Who?
Dark skin Ghanaian.
From the UK.
Free Runway.
Free Runway.
Sorry,
I was thinking Stormzy.
Who's she on about?
No, I forgot for a hot second.
Oh my god.
Free Runway. I feel like I see the same thing in terms of like, again, like being able to sell someone. Like Free Runway is so good. Like I love her music.
No, she's talented as fuck.
I forgot her name, but I love you, Bree. Sorry. But yeah, I kind of see the same erasure as well in terms of like upcoming artists in the UK that I guess championed in comparison to like her work, because she's worked with huge designers. Like I mentioned,
she's at the Mugler party.
Yeah, actually, and like I mentioned her name, and some people are like,
Who's that?
Who's that?
But then I think that's also a UK thing.
Yeah,
UK,
because in America they
know
recognize her talent.
They
Yeah,
know her
definitely.
so well.
Definitely,
But I
definitely.
definitely think an area of colorism that's play like two things can exist, can
Yeah.
be true at the
Yeah.
same time.
That is
Multiple
so
things can be true at once. That's the name of the group
Multiple
chat.
things can be true at once.
We
Shout
love
out to
it.
Anae, because that
Yes,
is
and
her
that's your-
thing.
yeah.
Exactly, and they can both be great artists, but it doesn't mean that the nuance of colorism can't play at the same
Yeah.
time.
Do you know what? I have a friend, Glow, who has actually mentioned this, and they were like, colorism is able to exist so successfully because people gaslight themselves to act like it doesn't exist. Like, people love to be like, oh, don't play the race card. Oh my God, that has something to do with it.
Yeah,
Like, you
and
get
who gets to
gaslit.
decide what the race card
Exactly.
is?
You get gaslit into thinking, okay, maybe it isn't actually that. Maybe it is. But I think in this circumstance, let's stop playing with Flo
Yeah.
Milli. Like, that is actually what we're
Yeah.
seeing.
And I think if you're even listening to this as well, part of it is also, if you haven't heard of Flo, I don't know how you wouldn't have heard of her.
Yeah.
Like, listen to her music. When you see her stuff, like, promote it as well, because I do think colorism, again, like, you can gaslight yourself into thinking it doesn't exist. And I think, yeah, just take into account, if you see an artist that you think deserves recognition and isn't getting the recognition, how are you as a person championing
As a
them?
consumer.
Yeah.
As a consumer championing them as well. I think
Yeah.
that's like moving forward, like, I'm gonna see her stuff and post it. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
And this isn't to say that I don't like High Spice. I love Bikini Bottom, but yeah. But you know what? It's actually quite funny that you mentioned Drake, and I'm not sure if we'll have the time to get into that the way that I want to. But about his behavior recently, because even the fact that he hasn't actually signed Ice Spice, but he did give her that little cosign, like,
Yeah.
oh, once she's a bop or whatever, and then people were like fucking with it.
Yeah.
But in the album, he's like, oh, she's a 10, but she should be on mute.
Yeah.
And then you're also sending for, who else was it? Serena Williams, calling her
Megan.
like Megan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things.
I
I
think
have a lot of opinions on Drake. I am so sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I just I mean we don't need to go into
Yeah,
it, but I
yeah.
feel like he's pertaining to his audience and men,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
his
yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
we need to circle back to that. I think I'm going to do
Yeah.
a whole separate episode on misogynistic men and the different ways that they show up.
Yeah.
Because the lover boy trope, the nice guy trope.
Yeah, he
there's
switches
loads of
characters.
different
He's playing
tropes
different
that men
characters,
do
yeah.
to kind of hide their misogyny, and then watch them not get what they want from you. You'll see it clear as
Yeah.
day. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So, I feel like we need to introduce you properly because you caused a ruckus. Like, I'm not like
yes,
like
she
when
shook the table.
I shook the fucking table, broke it. Like,
On that day, I was just washing my hair.
I'm not washing her hair.
oh, I was just washing my hair.
I was just sitting judgingly.
In the bathroom, you know, doing my detangling. And my friend rings me, Abibat, how's your mental state? I said, please, I'm just trying to get the shampoo on my hair.
No.
Happening.
On a casual.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, explain. So explain the TikTok, the drama. It went to Twitter. When a TikTok goes to Twitter,
It's a different kind of thing.
The thing with TikTok is I don't think I quite realised the virability of it.
Bro.
I guess that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, there was that conversation about that girl spending like 3,000
No,
No,
1.5,
1.5k on maintenance.
Yeah.
maintenance.
And it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
For your own was about
Yeah, but there'd been like a previous discourse about like beauty or
Yeah.
like TikTok, and there was a trending black girl makeup look.
Yeah.
Essentially, and like I was like, me too, I want to look like a UK black girl.
I be using that hashtag because I know everyone has to watch that.
Actually, but when I looked underneath the hashtags, I just saw that there was a consistent look. It wasn't a bad look, it was consistent.
Yeah.
And also it pivoted from me speaking to my younger cousin. I got cornrows. I always began this tribal hairstyles, guys.
Yeah.
This is my bag. man.
Represent.
They slap, yeah.
And she said to me, when are you getting your frontal done?
Hey.
I don't even blame her because she had never seen cornrows being done in the context of just wearing it out, because she just assumed that wasn't
That's
my
for
main,
under a wig.
she didn't assume it was my main hairstyle, and I was like, babes, this is my hair, like
Oh, yeah.
But she's like, how old is she? She's like maybe like year 9.
Oh, yeah. So she's probably just internalized
and that's
it.
the thing.
It was what she'd consumed, and it wasn't because she sees me with my natural hair all the time, but seeing cornrows, she didn't think that that was my main hairstyle.
That's
I thought
not your final look.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it wasn't my final look. So I
Yeah.
was like, baby, like, this is it. And she just kind of shook her head, and I got that she got the gist of it. But then I realized, just combining all those like little things that happened to me, I was like, yeah, there definitely is a look. It doesn't mean other looks don't exist outside of it, but it would be very silly to not say that there is a certain look to meet UK standard. Like, beauty is such a big thing, and you can participate in beauty and still critique it. Like, I was wearing fake nails in that video. I had bright under eye concealer. Well, I thought it was bright anyway. I had fake lashes on. Like, I also participate in beauty. It doesn't mean I can't critique it.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like, especially as black women, like, I understand how hard it is, especially the struggle that we face when it comes to looking a certain way. But I also think we shouldn't, I don't want to say homogenize because it's not the right word, but I think a certain look will mean we're setting standards for other people to see us like this is the only way we
exist. And then that
and that like kind of like goes down like into like just day to day. It doesn't mean there aren't other black girls who look different. I had a whole afro in that video. Of course I'm understanding that women can look different. Like, I look different.
But when so many people go towards one look, then it's like, if you don't align with that or that aesthetic, or you don't present it that same way, then you're seen as you're othered. 100%. And do you know what? Even one of my friends made a comment, and I knew she didn't mean it in like a wild way, but it was just like about how back in uni, like start of uni, I wasn't really wearing makeup. I wasn't really doing what I still can't lay a wig, babe. One thing about me, even
why is that a necessity?
Exactly though, but that's the thing. I recognize that I get ahead of the joke, and I'll make the comment about myself because I'm like, you're not going to shame me for something that I know that I don't care enough about to try and like align to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fact that I consciously will go out of my way to get ahead of it is because I know that I'm being judged for not fitting that standard or not doing it correctly. And I feel like that's the issue. It's like the pressure to be
something
that you don't want to be.
A lot of people took it personally. They're like, oh, but you know, I wear this because I want to. I'm like, I'm not. This is not about individuals.
But people need to be fucking for real also.
This
is what I mean.
I don't make these theories because I don't participate in them. Like, I'm not saying, oh, don't do this. We literally operate in this society. We can't say there isn't a certain look. Like, if I type up like, I don't know, female
UK
rappers,
black
for example,
girl,
UK black girl. Does that look like? I'm not saying frontals are bad. Please, if you see me rock a 30-inch wig,
please someone gift me. I want to relate to Cardi B when she says, "Long ass me to be tickling my ass crack."
I definitely think the beauty of being a black woman is the fact that we have so much versatility.
There we can do so much.
That we can explore, and I feel like. Some girls I feel like haven't even explored the different ways they can be. Because if a standard is set a certain way, like girls were commenting. I think TikTok took it really well because
TikTok did take it well. I saw that, and then Twitter was ripping it apart.
Some of TikTok took it well because I saw some stitches that were like
that just misquoted me. And like a lot of girls were like,
but they also projected their own
insecurities
as well. And I just feel like when we're talking about beauty, like I literally understand it's such a
sensitive.
It's a sensitive and reactive. Like people literally react to it in different ways. Like I was speaking to a girl about relaxers, for example. This is very much off topic, but I knew she had relaxed hair. But the way she took it was very like,
you're attacking me.
I'm attacking her because I have natural. And I'm like, girl, I don't even advise people to go natural if they don't want to, because it takes a certain level of like love to want to go that way. So I understand the sensitivity when it comes to beauty, but at the same time, participating doesn't mean we can't critique, because you can critique if you participate in it. Like, there's a problem there.
And I also did see actually a lot of people trying to project this whole "you're a judgmental natural hair girly" onto, and that's where I got a bit annoyed, because I'm like, I don't think when I saw your video you ever gave that. As someone who wears both wigs and braids,
look at your content. It's not that kind of content.
Literally. And I would never tell you to go natural. Like, it can be a lot of work, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
No, I do think it is hard, and I don't think we're properly taught, well, at least in my my experience, and I guess from my friends' experiences, our parents maybe didn't have the time to maybe learn all these like the right ways to do it. They weren't maybe taught it.
Hair for ages, because I didn't even know I could have natural hair, and I lived in Nigeria where majority black people, like it's a thing. So I definitely think that learning, it's not even lack of, you don't know what you don't know, essentially. My mom couldn't have taught me about natural hair because she didn't know about natural hair, so I felt like people saw me as that judge. I don't care about hair. Like, it's just hair, but it's also more than hair. Like, I understand that. But at the
multiple
same time,
things can be true,
Again, I didn't mention natural hair, and I felt like someone popular added me, essentially, as well. And I just felt like...
Wait, I'll beep it out. I'll beep it out.
That was the stitch I was talking about.
And I was just... She was like, the kinky... At the end of the day, every single black girl has natural hair.
Wait, so what did she say? What did you say? Let's take it back to square one. What did you say?
I just said we can't even lie that there's not a standardized look, and I said the problem with standardizing a certain look is it doesn't give room for exploration.
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
for younger girls who don't explore, who just go straight to wigs. My cousins are like 14, 15. They have a wig because you have a wig.
Yeah.
They haven't tried cornrows, not even braids as often, maybe in the summer, but wig is definitely like a thing now,
look.
essentially, yeah. So that was my point. I was just like, explore, try different things, shave your hair off. I had a shaved head for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I had cornrows, I had relaxed hair, I had dyed hair, like, not dyed, but like,
Yeah.
but like, I've explored as well, but I just feel like for a lot of young girlies, I just feel like,
Girlies is so cute.
yeah, like, are you doing this because you want to, or because you've seen it
feel like
enough
you have to?
That's been the only thing that you know. Again, you don't know what you don't know. So I think exploration is a big thing, even in terms of like self-identifying yourself.
Yes.
Like, what's my need?
But then that's so interesting because I don't feel like expression of self is really accepted in the UK. Like you see how people talk about people who like maybe have more of an emo or goth aesthetic and how they talk down it,
but you see,
bit derogatory.
I think what's so interesting, I feel like that's more within, because I was talking to Abibat about this, like I feel like in cities where there's more of a bigger population, like London, like where there's more black people, there is more of a standardized version of being black. But when you go like other parts of the UK where there's less black people, because of there's less definition, so you tend to find the black emo kid, the black this kid, and there's more diversity. I feel where it's such a thing of in our community that there is so many taboos in being different, that's the problem. And then it means like, because a lot of people responding to the video like, well, just do what you want. That's very lovely to say. We can all pretend we're in La La Land and that everybody can just do what they want.
Because half these people don't do what they want.
We're social creatures. You're going to be affected. And just like you said, like when I've always, like if it's not natural hair, it's bantu knots, it's braids, it's locks, whatever. That's always been my bag. But even when I was younger, it would be other black girls that'd be like, oh, when are you getting a wig? Or like before braids and like pick and drop has now come back. No, because it's pick and drop, but everyone's calling it curly. Like, it's pick and drop. It's come back, and before people would be like, "That's so childish." Or like, you look like an auntie.
Yeah, I got that.
So
I got
it's
the
like
braids is childish vibe.
We're going in circles, and for everyone like, and what I found so ironic is that it's the wig babes stitching it like, oh, like nobody sees it that way. Like, you should just do. But you're literally the one sitting in that position of privilege almost.
I don't even feel any anger towards. Like I feel like it takes a certain level of like self-understanding to say, you know what, I have an attachment to my wigs, because some girls do have an attachment,
and they don't want to admit it.
And I feel like even though you're saying it from that space, as a black woman, even if you don't agree with me, I still want freedom for you. I understand that, but I feel like we do need to check ourselves. Like if you know in yourself you can't go out without makeup, for example, then you have a dependency on it. If you can't go out without having a wig, then you have a dependency on it.
And my thing is,
dependency culture is.
Yeah, my thing is like, I feel like there's nothing wrong. Like I said, as much as I am saying like, oh, I like African hairstyles, or I like tribal hairstyles, or I like my natural hair, and another black girl might like wigs, but I feel like what we want is this safety net where if anyone was to step outside of their norm,
it's fine,
that it's well received, and that there isn't a different treatment. Because part of why wigs are so heavily like the thing for black women is because already, especially as dark-skinned black women, you're not seen as beautiful unless you're tip-top shape, everything's laid,
perfection.
And the makeup is, you get what I mean? So when we exist outside of those frames, we're invisible to people. This is where the problem is. It's not because, oh, this is my aesthetic and you should do it too. And like, obviously there's going to be subcultures, and I think subcultures are good. Like the fact that the natural hair community is a bit smaller than maybe the wig community in the UK is not necessarily a bad thing. But it's the fact that when it comes to things like desirability and dating and even just opportunities in work, if I come with an afro, I'm less likely
especially
to get
if it's not a massive, perfectly round.
Let's talk about
there is a certain type of afro that is accepted.
Exactly.
I would say it's not an individual issue. It's a systematic problem.
That's what I'm saying. That it's hurtful when we do it to ourselves, because it's one thing if a white man is saying like, oh, this is that. But when it's like within our own community, we can't identify things like colorism or texturism, or how hairstyle plays a part to how you are perceived. That is really
by men
problematic.
and women.
Yes,
and women as well, because women will look down on you.
It's 100%. And if and you have to be a really certain type of person, even if you have the most confidence. Other people's statements can get to you, and the only reason why confident people who are alte and wear different things is because they exist in a community where people make them feel safe to do that. They have friends who are also alternative, or they have friends who will say, your hair looks nice. But if you constantly go out and everyone's looking at you like do you get what I mean?
Like,
you will feel othered, you will feel alienated, and it will start to like play in your mind. That's the issue for me, and that's why I was like, I completely understood what you were saying, because it is affecting other people.
100. And I always like, just going off of your point, like beauty is currency.
Yeah,
there's so much to talk about. How you're perceived and how people also like take you in as well. It's currency to men if you look a certain way. It's currency within social groups, within female friendships, within just navigating
even
people
friendships.
There could be an episode alone on beauty politics and how they navigate female friendships. A lot of people are not being real and admitting that they do choose female friendships based on aesthetics.
100%.
I've heard people say, oh, how do you guys become friends? Oh, well, we are from Leicester or something, or we're from here, and I saw her, she's a bad bitch with a Frontal, and I'm a bad bitch with a Frontal, and her wig was there, and that's how we became friends. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't be obtuse when someone calls out, okay, well, have you recognised that this is, like, do you know what I mean?
Because shame quickly eases into that as well, because if you have a friend that, like, I think I saw this TikTok, she said, I want more baddie friends. Come on. Like, imagine if I'm not a baddie and I'm your friend. You don't want to be seen out publicly.
Please. And that's even like when they try to defend that, no, but I just want people who can. I'm like, bro, you're legit explaining how beauty is a currency. You want the pretty privilege. People are being be fucking for real. You know that if you have that baddie friend, you're gonna jump to the head of the queue at the club. You're gonna be at that table at tape. You're gonna get invited to these free things, and that is exactly why people need to stop lying about that shit.
What do you define as friendship? Because why is your friendship so trivial?
It's opportunistic.
It's really, really sad, and I just feel like we can like, again, multiple things can be true at once. We can exist in all of these things and partake in these things,
and then also know that it's fucked up.
Exactly. That's what I really didn't like. People acting like what you said was so outlandish, and it's like, hello, are we not all living in the same UK?
Exactly.
London,
and they were
UK.
Like, oh, do you know what? Even back to what you said about how people will treat you differently. Do you know that girl Lip Gloss on TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
my sister. I love her.
She come back because she hasn't posted in a while. I hope my baby's good.
She did this whole thing about, I'm going to go out with my natural hair. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm not going to comb it out. I'm not going to do anything. Oh, actually, I can't remember if that's true. But she's like, I'm not going to manipulate it. I'm just going to do it in its shrunken state and go out of my house and see how people treat me. Because I want to unlearn the things I've learned about my natural hair. I want to feel more proud about it. I'm talking at 100 miles per hour, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, we do.
I thought, okay, do you know what? This is cute. Let me try that, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not loving my natural hair. Like, I'm going to be so fucking real. My edges aren't full. I have a big forehead. My afro is not big. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, I love my natural hair. No, I always have my hair in some sort of way because I don't have the confidence to go out and like wear it.
This is why
it's okay to admit that as well.
Bro, who gives a shit? Like, that's the reality of it.
It exists in such different forms. Like, I think another response I got on like Twitter was, of course you can say this, you have type, first of all, I don't have type 3 hair. Check that.
Check that.
First of all, get your facts straight.
I don't have type 3 hair, and I don't even operate within the hair typing system anyway, but that's a whole conversation. But I was just like, I know my hair's dense, I have a lot of hair, but when I had my short afro and I was walking around, aunties would be asking me,
sister, let me do your hair.
What is this on your head? Like,
I live in Peckham.
So
like, they are going to come up to you and ask that.
It's so important to know that we can exist in different forms. Like, you can have thin edges. Like, that's if it's in your DNA.
This is the thing.
Like,
bro, listen.
This is the thing. Like, this is why. Because like, why do we feel that way about? Because let's be honest, the average dark-skinned black girl has short, 4C hair. It's rare that your hair is like long and voluminous. So if that is our natural trait, how have we come to a place where we feel so that's why I feel like you cannot ignore
it's conditioning,
society.
100%.
That's why these conversations are necessary, because it's like, we are social creatures. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna feel confident because this is the skin I was born in.
100%.
You have to make me feel you have to make me feel like this is beautiful. We get taught what beauty is,
exactly,
and we get taught where we fit in the hierarchy of it. So of course, like, that's why these conversations are necessary, because if the norm is that you are only worthy of beauty, of recognition, of opportunities when you wear this wig, what are we then define? Like you said, you're talking about your cousin. Like, what are we then preaching to our younger women, or even if it's not younger women, just us? Like, how are we existing in a world where we know our true selves are not valid?
Because even it's not even about it not being valid, but I did the challenge that she was doing. I lasted maybe 2-3 days. I said, bitch, I'm slapping on this ponytail again, because I remember I was out and I was legit invisible that day.
That's what I mean.
And it's not like, okay, cool, I'm going out and I'm catting for a man, I'm like, yeah, who's gonna move to me today? It's not that. Don't even try that, because I know someone's gonna be talking out their neck and saying that shit. But it was like, my male friends treated me differently. Strangers treated me differently. Like, the only people who were treating me like, let's say, the way normal people would, I don't know about normal people, but anyway, it was just like those white men with a fetish
100%
who were coming up to me and being like, hey, Mama Africa, like, like, you know what I mean?
Girders.
But I'm just
literally,
like, even my friends were overlooking me entirely. Like, 100%. I remember seeing people that I've known and they looked at me in like a shocked way, and I'm like, I feel embarrassed now for just coming out of my afro. Like, it's weird.
I feel like it's actually really important to actually go in that way. I think for me, it really determines how I choose my partners, for example, like men that I want to interact with. Because if you don't like
that's
me in
even
all
a thing,
forms, like I literally need to make it known.
You see me at my worst.
I'm not a slave mama. I'm not a slave queen. I need you to know that. And if you
slave mama, I'm not a slave mama.
That's my mom's language right there. But I'm not a slave mama. I'm not a slave queen. But one thing is, if you can't accept me in different forms, even like I'm comfortable with being ugly, quote unquote, being ugly.
Yeah.
I am so comfortable. I feel like a lot of us are not comfortable in being
I am
ugly.
not.
And I hear it. And do you know what? I hear it because beauty is such a thing that, like, we aspire for beauty. Beauty is beautiful, it's shiny. Like, who doesn't like you all like
you want to feel yourself.
But I feel like a lot of times it can dictate, because I know it dictates how people treat you, how you said you felt invincible. I don't want to ever feel like that. Like, if you're a man that I know that these things are what you prioritize, it's an X from me and I'm moving on.
100%.
Because I need to make sure, and there are men like that who love, like, not love natural hair, but like they don't even care, like they just like
it's normalized
as a being, like, as a being in yourself. And I'm only gonna choose you because I do feel like you choose who you love. I'm only gonna choose you if my natural state of being myself,
you can actually deal with that 100%.
And even my friends, we can't be friends. I'm so sorry.
I'm
gonna come here.
To be honest, in the industry I'm in,
that's another scenario.
You gotta just let that shit fly, because I'm just like, I can't come and die.
And I feel like freedom is so important. Like, even if you're wearing wigs, if you're wearing frontals, ponytail, bantu knot, shuku, whatever, you need to feel freedom in your strip backstage. And I think for a lot of black women, I think it's also important for us to feel freedom. Even if you don't like me, I want you to be free.
You're a better woman than me. Fuck your face. No, I'm joking.
Oh no, it's so like complex. Like, this whole thing, like, it's really unfortunate that some of us can't see the nuance in it, and some of us are like yes, we do.
But the aggression was weird.
That's what really bothered me.
I don't think I said anything wild. It was basically.
And your tone of voice was so like, oh, suggestive and cute, and it was just encouraging people to express themselves.
Exactly. I was just reiterating my observation, and like, people were just like, yeah, you want us to go, girl.
Also, like, people with the argument of like, oh, natural hair is too hard. I honestly don't think it is. I think black hair is hard.
Yeah.
If you're doing braids, do you know how long that takes? Weeks.
No, but the thing is, come on.
But I don't think,
because it's low maintenance. Like, you're not the one putting it in.
No, but as in, like,
I think.
I feel like compared to, I feel like the whole thing of like natural hair being impossible. I think we're stretching it a bit.
We are.
Like,
it's because we're not properly educated on how to take care of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and you can be a very lazy natural. All this stuff on YouTube you don't have to be doing.
And it's also funny how people go out of their way to learn how to maintain a human hair wig.
This is my thing.
Do it for their
Let's
hair.
talk about it, because how long is that? Because how long does it take you to dye and bleach and do all the
and take the lace?
But a natural hair is hard. I beg.
It was so funny. No, remember how she was first episode? You were quiet, small girl, talking about her shit.
It's because I'm here.
No, because I just feel like black hair is harder than white hair. Let's say that. Yeah. But natural hair is like, every hair has its own process.
We're just not willing to learn.
Do you get what I mean? If you don't want to do it, fine, but don't like isolate it as this alien thing that you can't do.
I actually don't think natural hair is hard. I feel like
honestly,
you haven't handled your hair enough to know even what your hair like.
But I know that I actively avoid handling my hair.
This is my thing.
I know that.
This is my
100%.
thing.
I will pay someone, go to a salon and just sit there and whatever, because I'm just like, personally, I just don't want to do it.
And I hear it, but I feel like even if I have my daughters, for example, like their natural hair will be then until they have like a say in what like they want to look like. I think that would just be the default for them. And at the end of the my mom,
that was my default. My mom never let me relax my hair. She always did braids or natural hairstyles. I got my first wig in like second year of uni. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just I personally am just useless with it.
I grew hair. People thought I had natural hair for a long time. I started growing hair when I was like 11, 12.
Yeah.
My mom didn't even bother about relaxing. In Nigeria, please. She sat me down and shaved it. I was bold. I had no hair. You think you want more confidence in
They will force you to grow that confidence.
I'm not gonna say I'm used to being ugly, but I'm used to being bare. And I want my daughters, like, I look at my younger brother. When Mubarak is going to school, he jumps in the shower like 30 minutes before his school starts. It runs out. But I look at my younger cousin, she's literally there, like, she doesn't wear makeup, but she's putting mascara on, gelling her edges. The freedom is not the same. And I just feel like I don't want restraint on, I want girls to do everything. Again, freedom is my bag. And
But I think other black women do need to be a lot more like aware of how they like continue the cycle.
They're privileged.
And they need to G-check themselves. Like, don't take the piss out of someone who can't do their hair right. Don't take the piss out of, or right, what even is right, but someone who doesn't have the perfect wig, or who's like their edges aren't done or whatever, because more time it is black women calling that shit out, and then that enables other races to come and now chat shit on us as well.
We're talking about it. Of course, why would I?
I'm seeing white people talk about, oh, why's her wig like that? Shut the fuck up. Who told you? Who told you?
Tracy, go and sit down.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't chime in. Don't chime in.
No, but that's the whole essence of this thing.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the whole essence of this thing. The guy that was like, let's be real, guys. The makeup wasn't good. Like, sorry. No, but that's the whole essence of it. I think we need to be so much more gentle with ourselves and not be so, because this whole perfectionism thing, this in crazy standard that black women are always exposed to exist in, is so unrealistic.
Honestly, I strive for mediocrity.
Mediocre.
I see the girlies on TikTok, the white girlies, you know yourself. The ones that they learn the littlest dancing, they're getting millions of views, getting all the sponsorship. I want to be mediocre.
Bedhead.
And that's why I'm like,
this whole messy bun. Let me be messy.
And I just
that's what I want.
Like we're already operating within systems of racism, within capitalism already. We're already, as black people, as black women, we have so much more like being pushed against us. So imagine in that small circle you have, you're pushing against yourself as well.
Yeah.
It's long, it's hard. So I think, again, freedom and just accepting and being soft and gentle and just be teachable, like be open, be teachable,
and embrace difference. If we all had a mentality of, if you see someone that looks different to you, you've never seen someone,
don't take
rather
the piss out
than
the egos,
scrutinizing them, rather than just be like, oh wow, like, and if it's not something you can necessarily compliment on, even your facial expression, like, it shouldn't be like you're frowning upon someone. If we were also like, because even like, I mean, in me saying like, oh, I do more alt styles, there may be someone that does something that I don't necessarily dig or like get, but it's that whole mentality. If we had a community where difference was accepted, it wouldn't be so hard to exist in different forms. There's no problem with there being a unified look, because obviously some people will gravitate to one thing. I think there's no problem with it if we all can acknowledge that other things exist and are allowed to exist, because naturally as human beings there's going to be something that's popular and something that isn't. We do that with music, films, everything, like that's just a given. But it's just when the attitude towards the other becomes like,
but the attitude
that's the
towards
problem.
the other is always
that's what I'm saying. We as individuals need to become mature, and we're actually grown adults. You don't need to be acting like you're on the secondary school playground frowning at someone because they have a different outfit to you
100%.
or hairstyle. Like, let's grow up.
And this is also not us like having a superiority complex and acting like we're not guilty of that. I definitely know for a fact I've seen someone who looks a completely different aesthetic that I'll never be caught dead-ended, and I've been like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, but that could be your innate. That could be your innate reaction, but then
it's learning and acknowledging
unlearning
it. Do you know what I mean? I've definitely side-eyed a couple wide looks.
Yeah,
okay,
but
cool,
it's just
you don't want to keep doing it. Do you get it?
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Their feelings.
I'm not going to treat you like you have the lurgies. Hello.
Yeah, and when these conversations arise, don't be oblivious to it. And if you've never taken the time to look and see, wait, do I have a bias? like just don't just shut it down because you'd rather not rather project your insecurities or be like, oh, that doesn't exist because I don't experience it. Come on, like things that exist that you don't experience exist just because it doesn't happen to you.
And I hate how people try and erase that.
100%. That's the problem. And it's black women. Like that whole converse over TikTok I was just very surprised. I was like, oh,
I have another one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm back again.
And we'll do it again. Literally.
Check out the next TikTok, you know?
Okay.
100%.
So, as I said, we're really stuck for time, so we've got to wrap up. Do you want to do your Never That Deep? So this, your Never That Deep, your Heard Way. Do you want me to start? The Heard Way, which is something that you've done, I guess, different to the crowd, whatever, you get the shepherd analogy. I feel like I'm always explaining this. But mine was forcing myself to wear braids, well, not buy into the wig until really late in my life. Because I was like, people always telling me this is childish, this is childish, this is childish. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking give into this because other people want it. Like, I'm going to do it when I want to do. Yeah. Not articulate that.
I think mine's similar. Like, I like to experiment with my hair, and I'm inspired a lot by very like experimental, like traditional braided hairstyles. So if it's like, I don't know if you saw my recent, but things like that where it's like you wouldn't wear it you don't see it everywhere, but I find a lot of freedom in doing things like that because I challenge myself and seeing different forms that I exist in, even just with my skin and like just not wearing makeup and things like that. And I'm not saying it in I'm holier than thou way, but I find a lot of freedom in being able to just exist in several forms, whether it's made up or just, you know, basic. And I think that's a really positive thing because you start to get over the anxiety of it or going outside and exactly. Do you get what I mean? You slowly make it better for yourself, but also surrounding yourself with community that is accepting of that, because that plays a big part.
Love that. How about you?
Oh, okay. Oh, hi there. My Never That Deep would probably be like maybe like slicked edges and long hair. Like there's an obsession with like long hair, length, and I make length retention videos for the girlies that want it, but I also think at the same time it's just never that deep. Like hair length is not a measure for anything. Like
health over length.
Thriving always, and if you can have both, good for you, but at the same time it doesn't mean anything. And sleeked edges, please free us. My edges was falling off before I realized I need to pull that gummy down. My edges are here.
It's on its last leg.
But I'm literally telling you, like, sleeked edges is just never that deep as well. Like, what a sleek. We don't know anyone's sleekness. You don't know anyone.
Yeah, you see people relaxing their edges now and everything. Let's not.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Okay, social media shout outs.
At Femi Aribi, FEMIARIYIBI.
Cool.
Yeah. At abstract abs.tract _. Yeah, it's a funny one. But on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn. No.
Alright, sorry guys, this episode was so short. Hopefully we can pick it up another time.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about around
beauty politics. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Oh yeah, subscribe! Bye.